Story. So, the first time I had a passport scare, I was 14 years old. It was the first time I was leaving the country by myself. And the airport I was leaving from was about an hour from my house. And I was going to Spain. And so we get to the airport, and I realized that I left my passport at home. Literally a rookie move. And mind you, we got to the airport early enough, but I didn't think it was going to be enough time to drive an hour back to the house, get the passport, drive an hour back to the airport, and make it to my gate and like through security all in time. But you know who got it done? My mother. My mom literally, I stayed at the airport. My mom drove all the way back to Baltimore and got my passport and drove all the way back to the airport. And I made it on my flight. Now, the craziest part of this story, like, not just the fact that I left my passport and my mom saved the day, but it's then when I landed in Spain and realized that I had actually successfully convinced my parents to let me leave the country by myself. And I had no idea what was really about to happen. Now, mind you, I was traveling with this program called Pueblo Inglés, and the idea behind the program was that there would be English speakers who they called Anglos from all over the world, different English speaking countries were all coming to Spain to teach English to native Spanish speakers. But the way that we did it, we were all like living together in this resort camp style campus thing, and our only rules were that we weren't allowed to speak Spanish. We were only supposed to be speaking English so that the Spanish speakers could learn English. But of course, I wanted to learn Spanish. So in the house, we were speaking Spanish, me and the girls I was living with, and outside, like, we were only speaking English to play by the rules. But I remember when I landed in the airport, I was like, oh snap, I don't know what's going to happen. This was before data. This was before like international phone plans. So I just remember going to gather my bags, and I was like, I'm gonna just see what happens. And by the time I was making it to the exit of the airport, I saw somebody with like the Pueblo Inglés sign and my name on the sign, and it all worked out. I could totally elaborate more on that story. I will say, prior to landing on Spain, I had asked my parents if I could first go to Darfur, which was then part of Sudan, and they said no. And then after that, I asked if I could go to Uganda, and they also said no. So that's how I ended up in Spain. The summer going into 10th grade, that was the first time I traveled by myself. And yeah, rookie move, leaving my passport at home. But shout out to my mama. So the second passport scare that I had, which was also like really crazy, I was on a world tour and I was arriving to Tanzania. And the day that it was time for me to leave the country, I realized I didn't have my passport. So I had gone through my entire trip not knowing that I didn't have my passport on me. And as I was thinking to myself, like, where can my passport be? Because I really don't lose things. And when I do, it's a thing. So I'm like, where could it be? And then I remembered that the customs agent had given me his number when I was like wrapping up my whatever, the customs interview. And I thought that was so bizarre, like, and very unprofessional. But somehow I had managed to hold on to that paper. So when I couldn't find my passport, guess who I called? The number on that paper. This man answers the phone, y'all. He answers the phone and says, I've been waiting for you to call. So he intentionally kept my passport and gave me his number in hopes and in knowing that eventually I would have to call him. The fact that I managed to hold on to that paper is crazy. The fact that he stole my passport and then tried to use it as leverage to get me to call him is crazier. I was like, sir, I'm leaving today. Like, I don't have time for this. And he was like, okay, I'll make sure someone at the airport has it. Like, just go to the airport. You'll be fine. Packed my stuff, literally pulled up to the airport on a wish and a prayer, walked into the airport, and like the first checkpoint that I got to, I was like, hey, someone here is supposed to have my passport, and someone did. So those are my two passport scares.